Let's face it, right? The most popular platform in the airsoft community, as we all know, is gonna be the AEG. It's been around the longest, and with that, sometimes innovation in that space usually is, well, a bit slow and always very minor. While we have many different companies out there making electronics and upgrade parts to supercharge your AEG, the one big thing that has always hampered this particular platform was the power source. While unlike real steel firearms where there's an incredible amount of energy stored inside the bullet, and all you need is, the firing pin to strike the primer and away you go, in airsoft, especially for the AEG platform, things are a little bit more complicated. And of course, it goes without saying, whatever good source of energy you put in, the better output you're gonna get. Much like a car, right? You put in good gas, you're gonna get good energy. And just like our bodies, you put in good food, you're gonna get higher performance. I guess you are what you eat, or you are what you put in yourselves. In the 80s and the 90s, airsoft players had to put up with the traditional nickel-cadmium or nickel metal hydride batteries. They were bulky, heavy, didn't hold much charge, and had low discharge rates that made even the best AEGs feel like your grandma's station wagon. And the worst part of it all, manufacturers found it very difficult to find a proper place to house these big batteries. Thus, they were not able to create very compact guns or guns of different shapes and sizes. Well, then came this guy. What we thought would have been the holy grail of batteries. The lithium polymer, or the Li-Pos for short, seemed to be what we've all been clamoring for. They were smaller, came in all different shapes and sizes, held a higher charge, and even had a higher discharge rate, which made your AEG, my goodness, shoot and sound like something from Star Wars, if you know what I mean. But seems to be in our brave new world and embracing this technology, we overlooked a few things, some compromises as you made that we may have not thought about when adopting the Li-Pos. So today, before we get into our main topic, I'm going to count out 5 things that we may have not thought about when using the Li-Pos. Starting with number 5. Number 5. Fat. Lithium batteries generate gas through electrolyte decomposition. Now, there's a word for you. And doing so, it causes these batteries to swell. And when they swell, well, they're just downright unusable. This can be caused by a number of reasons, usually become over discharge, high use, or even high heat would cause these things to swell up. And once you swell up, these things, again, like I previously said, they're practically unusable. Gotta throw them out. It's like money down the drain. Can you hear the toilet flushing sound? Number 4, fade. Fade refers to whether the battery can hold its charge or not. In this situation, Li-Pos, they're really bad at this because the moment you unplug it from the charger, they start to drain. That's kind of dumb because you just can't go and charge this thing full and then unplug it and expect it to stay charged as you would expect a battery to do so. But these things just simply can't do that, which means after every game, you have to go back home and charge it up right away. And when you do that, you have to make sure you charge it up again before you go. And the moment you plug, it's so annoying. Number 3, memory. Memory is a big problem with Li-Pos, which means if you leave this thing laying around and it fully discharges, or if you're playing with it and it fully discharges, guess what? You can't charge your battery back up. It's dead. It's unusable. How annoying is that? I also think it's kind of dumb. Number 2, shortened lifespan. Li-Pos can be typically charged between 20 to 80 times, give or take. And if you want to charge it upwards of the 80, you're not going to be using those store-bought Li-Pos that we usually use. And you're going to have to pay an arm and a leg for those high-quality Li-Pos. So if you just think about it for a little bit, you buy a $40 Li-Po and you charge it 20 times, that's like $2 a charge, then you gotta throw it away because you just can't use it anymore. If we just take a moment and forget about our wallets, what are these things doing to the environment? Number 1, they're very unstable. Li-Po batteries are infamously chemically unstable when they're not properly used. We have seen more than one occasion where these things would catch fire or even explode when simply using them or charging them back up. Who would want to walk around with a potential ticking time bomb in their buttstock next to their face? Not cool, man. Not cool at all. So why have we accepted this? Why is this okay to us? Well, I feel like it was the best option that we had, and at the time we just accepted it as par for the course. Well, that's until Titan came along and changed it all. I want to introduce to you guys today the Titan Power Lithium Ion battery. Okay, so for me to say that Titan or lithium ion batteries are new, well, that's not entirely accurate. Titan has been around for quite some time, and they've been taking this type of battery technology and applying it in the commercial UAV space for a little while now. And they're taking that same technology and applying it now to our favorite hobby, airsoft. Now, lithium ion batteries have also been around for quite some time as well. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but it's powered things like our cell phones, our laptops, and some other electronics that we may use on a daily basis. Now, also, if I were to say that no one has tried to bring lithium ion technology into airsoft, that would also be slightly inaccurate. Other companies have tried before, but to varying degrees of success, simply because they couldn't make a product that was symmetrical enough that gave good enough results and good enough quality. Now, Titan Power is a US-based company that's been producing batteries for commercial drones for quite some time, upwards for about a decade. And they even competed for a special project in NASA. Now, with that special project, their battery that they created for NASA closely resembled something like this, like an airsoft stick battery. And in that, they saw a solution, because the guys in Titan, they're also avid airsoft players. With that in mind, they started to dive into the airsoft industry, and I guess here we are today, bringing this huge innovation and advantage to us players. What makes these batteries so special, you may ask? How about this? No compromises. Now, all right, hang on a second. There ain't no free lunches around here. Oh yes, you heard me. I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why Titan is going to make airsoft great again. Number 5, no puff, no smoke, oh, and no explosions. Because who really wants a puffy battery anyways? Not to mention, using the battery a few times, watching it puff up and throwing it away, that's essentially throwing money down the drain, and that's just downright stupid. And we play airsoft for fun, and at the end of the day, who would think it would be fun, or safe for that matter, having something that could potentially blow up in your face right there in your buttstock? Think about the kids, think about the younger players. Lithium-ion batteries are just simply more stable, and that's why computer and phone companies insist on using that type of battery in their product. I mean, just think about this. Without those instabilities, thank God, you can actually use your product for its intended lifespan. Wow, how refreshing is that? Number 4, no fade. I mentioned earlier, Li-Pos pretty much lose charge the moment you unplug these guys. Titans really don't have this problem, and to help you guys understand why, I'm going to show you guys in a little visual experiment. I'm going to use these 2 cups and some water to show you what I mean by no fade. So in this cup, we have Titan Power, and this cup, we have regular Li-Pos. The water is going to represent the electricity or energy being filled into the container, which is going to be the battery. You see, with Titan lithium-ion batteries, you can charge this thing up just like this. See? And it's fine. And it'll hold this charge. Yeah, it may lose a bit of its charge due to evaporation, but not a lot. Now, here's the Li-Po battery. As I'm going to charge her up, I'm going to charge this battery up as much as I can. All the way full. All the way to the top. But you see, this is what you're going to get the moment you unplug it. It's gonna start to discharge right away. So I hope this is a better representation of what Titan can do and what you're gonna get with regular Li-Po batteries. Number 3, no memory. Now, this is something that never really made sense to me. You get a battery, a rechargeable battery. It's in the name. You expect to be able to use this thing dry and charge it back up. But turns out, you run this thing dry and you just can't charge it back up. I mean, there is such thing called boost charging, but chances are if you have a flatline battery and you boost charge it back to life, you're probably not going to get a battery with good internal integrity or it to work properly, and it could potentially be very dangerous for you. Lithium-ion batteries though, they don't have this problem. That means you can pull the trigger and use this thing to your heart's content. Suck all the power out of it if you want, and you can charge it right back up, just like nothing. Which also means, and I can't stress enough, you can really use this full capacity and use all of it to its intended life cycle. So good. Number 2, long life span. Titan batteries can be charged up to 300 times. 300! Just let that sink in. Chances are you're probably gonna lose this battery or misplace it before it's gonna lose its life, which also means you get 80% of its intended lifespan after 300 times. Remember when I said earlier that if you get a $40 Li-Po and you charge it about 20 times or so, give or take, you know, and it somehow rounds up to be about $2 per charge or $2 per use, if you get a $50 Titan and you charge it for 300 times, that rounds up to be about 16 cents per time you do it. So even just economically, it just makes so much more sense. It's so much cheaper in the long run. And number 1, huge capacity. Even the smallest Titan packs come with 2600 mAh, some reaching as high as 7000 mAh. There's a Dragon Ball joke in there somewhere, I swear. That's a big deal when your average Li-Po battery pack gives you about 1300 mAh. Titan has huge capacity. Given the near identical size of Titan and Li-Po batteries, Titan will have average of 2 to 5 times the capacity. For many people, that means one Titan battery can last you all day, and you don't even need to buy many batteries, which makes you spend less money. This reason alone makes Airsoft great again. Now, I want to talk about the performance of the batteries. Now, when you talk about performance of the batteries, you're going to have to get into something called the C rating. And when you talk about the C rating, it's gonna take me more than 5 minutes, so I'm gonna spare you guys the pain. But the C rating is quintessentially the discharge rate of these batteries. Now what I can tell you though is, take my word for it, these guys have the same C rating as normal Li-Pos, and at the same time they have double the capacity. To power an AEG, you want to send a lot of amps to the motor for maximum performance, and with Li-Pos, a high C rating meant that you can get more amperage to the motor but would drain your battery very quickly. The magic of Titan is that they can match the amperage output of Li-Pos but drain at only half the speed. In plain English, it means they can deliver the same power and last twice as long. So check this out. So what does this mean for you more specifically? Well, this means you can actually keep your battery charged, put it back in your gun, and store it for up to an entire year if you want. You can even keep a bunch of charged Titans on hand, and you can just keep them in a box or keep them wherever nicely, and whenever you're ready to play, you just take whichever one you want and head straight out to the field. The reason why they can do this is because these batteries only lose about 1% of charge each month. 1%, that is it. So you can do the math as you're watching this, how awesome these batteries are gonna be for you. And that means you no longer have to hurry home, charge your batteries the night before the game, make sure they're all safe and sound, and then unplug before you don't have to do that anymore. With Titan, it just gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. Hold up, did somebody say freedom? Give me some of them freedom batteries. There is one small caveat that we haven't touched upon yet. Now, if you look at these guys, pound for pound, they certainly do hold much more charge and a higher discharge rate than any nickel-cadmium or nickel metal hydride batteries out there. However, just simply based on how lithium-ion cells are stacked, they're cylindrical shaped and they have to get stacked on top of each other, they're not going to be as compact as Li-Po batteries. However, to dispel with any kinds of concerns, I'm going to bring out some stocks to show you guys what they usually work with. So here we go. First gun we have is the trusty M16 and this style of fixed stocks. Now, yes, you may think that these are going to fit no problem, and you'd be right, but I want to show you anyways. So let's open that compartment up. Usually guns with this type of large fixed stocks, you're not going to have an issue fitting any kind of battery in here. So let's take the long boy first. So don't mind the battery connection, it's a little bit different, but we're gonna fit this all the way in, and you can make your connection, put that all the way in. Long boy, no problem. 7,000 boy. Put this all the way in. Of course it's gonna fit. So fixed stocks, you're good. Now, on to the next two. What I have here with me is an HK 416 style buttstock. It's not the prettiest looking thing, this club-footed thing. And a SOP mod stock. Now these two, while they're very similar in how they're gonna fit the battery in here, they are different. So I'm gonna start with the 416. So upon removing the butt pad, you'll see these two little bits right here. Now, the reason why this is important is because the cable from your buffer tube is gonna come out from the top here, right? So I'm gonna take these two, I'm gonna put one in each side, like so. And I don't wanna put it in too far because I don't want it to get stuck. It's gonna be a very snug fit, which is good. You don't want any rattling. Put this all the way in. Of course, in real life, you put this all the way to the end, right? And the cable would come out here. Once the cable is out and you've plugged it in, then you can take this and put us all back in here. Do a bit of cable management, put this in there, rotate, and you're good to go. Everything is compact inside the stock. Now, this also works really good with the PTS EPS stock, the big one. That definitely has more than enough space for you to put these batteries in. Now, that's why I said I don't want to get it in too far because it's going to be a little snug.
A few moments later.
Now the reason why I brought out the SOP mod stock, because don't they look similar, right? Now, straight up, this will not fit. I mean, it will fit, but you have to do a bit of fiddling with the SOP mod stock to work. The reason why, now we're gonna pull open these tabs here.
A few inches later.
Right. So these tabs are open right here. And I'm gonna take these batteries, I'm gonna put them in the corresponding holes. Right? So these are all the way in. You see, this little tab right here is gonna hamper your cable from properly being put into your buffer tube. The best way is if this was done the other way around, from here, now we're talking. Then you're gonna be okay. So you might need to do a bit of modification on your SOP mod stock to make sure you can put the batteries in here and it not get in the way. That way, you'll be good to go. So here is just a small list of stocks that will be compatible with these Titan batteries. I hope it was helpful. So, too good to be true? Well, there's one more. Titan also backs all of their products with a 1-year warranty. You heard me right. You get a 1-year warranty on batteries. And that, I tell you, is a game changer in and of itself. I don't even know where to begin to tell you how these batteries have made my life a whole lot easier because I don't have to think about it as much. Just like what I would imagine airsoft would be. And now for you HPA guys out there that are watching, now Titan has something for you too. Titan HPA batteries have additional circuitry for undercharge, overcharge, and short protection, which ensures that your batteries will operate in optimal ranges at all times. And finally, quickly, I'm going to talk about the Titan battery charger. Yes, these things can work with other chargers on the market, but with the Titan charger, you're going to get a really quick charge time for these particular batteries, up to 1500 mAh. So you're going to be able to get these things charged up and you're going to be back on the field faster than you can say ready, set, go. And a really cool feature about this, you can simply unplug the power cable, plug in your battery, and it can act like a gauge, like a fuel gauge for your Titan batteries to see how much juice you got left while you're out there on the field on the fly. Pretty cool feature if you ask me, so I always kind of know which batteries need to be put back in my bag and which batteries go right back into my gun. But what do you guys think? Would you pick up one of these Titan batteries for your AEG? I know I certainly did, and once you go Titan, you never go back. You know my reference? If you have any thoughts, let me know all of those in the comment section below. I'm dying to hear what you guys think, and I'll probably see you there. And if you want cool products like this and many more, don't forget to check out our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. My name is Mark, aka Blue Steel. I'll catch you guys on the next episode of RWTV. If you like this episode, don't forget to press like. If you think it's cool, don't forget to share it with your friends and hit the notification bell if you're not being notified that we have new videos coming out. And I'll see you next time.